Here is a sikha, a speech from the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Usually we have the class at 8 o'clock, but I have to go somewhere tomorrow early morning, Friday morning. So I'm recording this now. So here we go. This week's Torah portion is called, we're going to read the Shabbos also, is Tazria. And Tazria, it talks about this strange condition, Torah condition called Matzorah, but it begins with a woman when she gives birth to a male, so she has to be impure for 7 days, and on the 8th day, she circumcises his flesh. She circumcises the child's foreskin. And this is where the commandment of circumcision comes from. Some say it comes from the first time it was mentioned by Abraham, but in any case, here's the commandment of circumcision. Now, first of all, at first glance, it's a little bit sort of out of place because the whole rest of the Torah, this whole Torah portion is talking about various forms of impurity. A woman, when she gives birth to a male, so she's impure for 7 days. She can't be with her husband. And then she's added on another 33 days that she can't go to the mikveh. She can't go to the holy temple, I'm sorry. That's one type of impurity. And then if she gives birth to a daughter, it's a little bit different. And then it talks about these different types of impurity of the tzorat and the tzorat in garments. So this is a little bit out of place, this commandment of the circumcision. And it's also not so clear what it means. In the beginning, it says, Isha ki tazria v'yolda zachar. It says a woman, when she gives seed and she has a child, a male child. What do you mean she gives seed? What does that exactly mean, she gives seed? So this is hinting, this whole fact that it's a little bit out of place, it seems, that God is trying to hint something to us that's a little bit deeper than what meets our eye. And the fact is that's the whole Torah, and the fact is that's the whole world. The whole world is telling us a message. Every detail is telling us a message that's something deeper than what meets the eye. How much more so in the Torah? And even more, why so much more so? Because the Torah, first of all, is God's wisdom. And it's even called the name Torah. Zota Torah. Torah means teaching. So the whole Torah is coming to teach us something. Even these strange laws, which are not applicable nowadays, will only be applicable in the time of the temple, or when there's somebody that knows the laws of the Tzorat or whatever. Okay, so here we go. So Alif and Pasuk on the sentence that says in our Torah portion, Ishat ki tazria, a woman when she gives seed and she gives birth to a male. Zakta Or HaChaim. One of the commentaries in the Torah is called Or HaChaim, is Rabbi Chaim ben Atar. He lived about 350, 400 years ago in the time of the Baal Shem Tov. But he lived in Morocco. He's called Or HaChaim HaKadosh. Od Yirmazu HaKatuv, that the Torah is telling tell us, Oif Knesset Israel, that the Torah, Yirmos, the Torah is telling us about, this is written in Yiddish, right? The Or HaChaim did not write in Yiddish, but the Rebbe is speaking Yiddish. It's talking about the woman that gives birth over here is talking about the Jewish people. This is a metaphor for the Jewish people. Which the Jewish people are called the wife, the woman. In the book Song of Songs by King Solomon, as Jewish people are referred to as, it's all big metaphor over there, and it's the Jewish people are referred to as the wife and God is the husband. Like it says, Ki bo'alayach osayach, because there's a pasuk in Isaiah that says, Ki bo'alayach osayach, that your husband will make you. The Jewish people, as Yidden, Velen Mazria, that when the women, Jewish people, they're married, so to speak, to God. God is the husband. The Jewish people are the wife. They got married at Mount Sinai when the Torah was given. So the Jewish people, when they give seed, what is the seed? The seed are mitzvahs and good deeds. That's the seed which is given by the Jewish people. That's their offspring. Al dirach, like it says, zaru lachem tzedakah, like it says, plant for you charity. Charity. This is what a sentence said, Hosea. So the seeds of the Jewish people are the good deeds that they do. As Zok the Torah too, the Torah says, V'yolda Zachar, that if the Jewish people, they do good deeds, then they'll give birth to a male. What is this male? It always said they gave the good deeds, that's their offspring. What does it mean, male? Zivet geboren a Zachar, that the good deeds that they do and the attitude that they have toward God will be in a way which is called masculine. What's masculine? Was Bechinas Zachar. Masculine is Hecher from Bechinas Nekev, which is above the level of feminine. Feminine is receiver, Mother Earth. The Yolda Vadai means certainly will give birth in a very strong way. Dermit for andert was frekt free, which it says, and it asks first for what state the Yolda. Why does it state that the Orach Chaim says? Why does it say that she'll give birth to unit v'teileit, that she will give birth? It doesn't say that she will bear. She will give birth. Erzak Viter, it says later on that if the woman, if a child is born, so it says when it talks about giving birth to a male, it says she will give birth, not just it is born. When it talks about a feminine, giving birth to a girl child, a female, so it says if the girl is born. Okay, so what does it mean that if the Jewish people, they do, they're a woman, they give seed, in other words, they do the commandments and they do good deeds, then they'll give birth to a male. What does it mean, male? That the offspring will be powerful. What's this offspring? What's it talking about? This is talking about the future redemption. Then the future redemption will be in a powerful masculine way. On they're clear, the Milan is talking about how it is that if the future redemption is better than Geulat Mitzrayim, than going out of Egypt. This is the Orach Chaim. Now you should know this is a very major theme in Judaism, and it's really stressed by the commentaries on the Torah that have any sort of connection with Kabbalah or the secrets of the Torah, which talks about how the spirituality, the secrets will all be revealed. According to people that don't, Torah scholars that don't deal with the secrets of the Torah, so they're not interested in revealing any secrets. They're not dealing with the secrets at all. But those who do deal with the secrets of the Torah know that these secrets are begging to be revealed to all mankind. And that's what it's going to be in the future redemption, that all mankind will see and feel godliness. And this is waiting for us. This is, in fact, our goal. We can't forget about this. And this is the most important thing in Judaism. This is the goal of Judaism. To change the whole entire world and to reveal the soul of everything. And that's going to be the future. That's how the birth of Judaism, when the Jews got out of Egypt. When the Jews got out of Egypt, it didn't last long. Nor is given a galus after the Jews got out of Egypt, there was an exile. The first temple was destroyed, the second temple was destroyed. But the GEULA Tira, but the future redemption, which is hinted at over here, that the child is going to be born if the woman, she gives seed first, and others, we work from below doing Torah and commandments and do what God wants, then the resultant child will be male. Not like it was when God took us out of Egypt, that God did everything. Then it was the male, he was the one that gave seed first. Here we're talking about the woman, the Jewish people, they give seed. They're the ones that do the Torah and the commandments and give charity, work from below. Then the result will be a very powerful, unending redemption. Geula shlema she'ein acharei golut. There won't be any exile afterwards. Well, the avoda from Yidden, because if the Jews, they do the work. If a woman, she gives seed, in other words, the Jews, they do all the work from below, that bring in the Geula, then it'll bring a future redemption. That's talking about the child that's born. Zol zayin b'chinas zachar, it'll be in a way of masculine. Kiyum v'amida netzach, it'll be very powerful and strong, and it'll be eternal. Thus is their token from Zayed Reid. This is what the Or HaChaim HaKadosh, that's what he writes. Ken Menzagen, we can say, as thus is al derech v'yas veret gebracht in Mechilta. It's like it's brought in one of the midrashim called Mechilta. Al derech zeh midrash Tehillim. Also, there's another midrash which is called midrash Tehillim. What does it say? All of the songs in the Torah that are written in the Torah are feminine, at the Shira Hazot, except for the song which is going to be sung by the Jewish people in the future. It says, Shiru Hashem Shir Chadash. Like it says, the Jewish people will sing a song, it'll be masculine. That's in the future redemption. Their Tamoy from them and Isha, the reason the Jewish people are called woman or wife, Ki me ish lo kachazos. This name Isha was given by God to Chava, Adam's wife. And he said, you're going to call her Isha because she was taken from Ish. Chava was taken from the side or whatever. She was taken from man. Man was created, and God took part of man and made the woman. Who is the man in this case we're talking about? This is God. The woman that's giving birth, that's the Jewish people. So the whole essence of the Jewish people is that they were taken from God. When it refers to the man, the husband, that's God. Like it says, God is the man of war. That was after the Jewish people went over the sea. Knes Yisrael, the Jewish people, was nemt zich from Hashem. The Jewish people, they are taken from God. It's called the Jewish people. It's called a part of God. They're the sons of God. B'ni B'chor Yisrael. He's therefore Isha. Therefore, the Jewish people, they are called God's wife because we're taken from God. Sometimes we're called the sons of God. Sometimes the wife of God. Sometimes the servants of God. Sometimes the partners of God. Sometimes we're called the equals of God. Yeah, the God's. It says brother, sister. These are different ways. Sometimes we're even called God's mother. Oh, the mother. When we cause God to change his mind by doing two. Anyway, here we're talking about that the Jewish people are called God's wife, and God is called a man. So God is called man. Jewish people are called women because woman Isha was taken from Ish, from the man. The Jewish people are taken from God. Yeder Neman, every name which the Jews are called by, is a bezundere inderninde, shows on a different aspect of the Jewish people connected to God. They're Naman when the Jewish people are called God's wife, or they're called the woman, female, is more as a ganzen that their whole existence is norvos meish lakachazos. This word, Isha, means that she was taken from man. The whole essence of the Jewish people that are called Isha, their whole essence is that they were taken from God. A Yidden is nit nogea kain chumris. The Jewish people are interested only in what God is interested in. They're not interested in any selfish enterprises. They're not interested in the physical world. Oich nit kain gashmis. They're not interested not only in the material, even in the physical. Be'etzem nafshu, in the essence of the soul, they don't even care about going to heaven. They don't want even any spiritual reward. Even the highest level of spiritual rewards don't interest the Jews. Why not? Because the spiritual rewards, that's only part of the creation. And the Jews are part of the Creator. We're the Isha. We were taken from Ish. Im is Nogea. The Jewish people is relevant, nor their Eibishter, only God, the Creator. the giver of the Torah. Und wie gerecht free, that's what we're talking about every Jew. And this is not ideally, this is actually, but it's in potential. Like we said before in the mimer, in one of the mimers, I feel that the Hechsher Madrigas is in the highest levels of heaven, Zayin Nitmer for Ha'or, it's just like a ray of godliness, Uba'en Aroch, and it's nothing compared to the Creator God Himself. B'shas is Fran Bechinas Isha, if the Jewish people are like this level of Isha, a woman, as Darfar Ershtan, there's the Zriya, therefore the Jewish people, they have to give seed. What is the seed? What do we say? That's good deeds. Where is seed planted? Be'eretz Tavka, in the earth. As menbet faroyan akrenel, when you want to plant a seed, not in the ground, but above, let's say, 5 feet above the ground, or even below 5 feet, or even right next to the ground. Was kalavudam, it's like, what is it, 1 foot from the ground. It's considered to be connected. It won't grow anything. The Zuriya, when does a seed grow? Only when it's in the physical world. Then it'll grow up. What's the Rebbe want from this? What do we say that the seed is? We said God is the male, the Jewish people, the Isha, that's the Jewish people. The seed that they plant are Torah, good deeds, charity. Says the Rebbe, these good deeds and this charity, the seed, it has to be planted in the earth. What does it mean in the earth? All the commandments and the good deeds that we do have to be physical, in the world. The Ne'amar says, "V'zorati li b'oretz," I planted it in the land. Kiti yu atem eretz chayfetz. The Jewish people are also compared to the ground, the land. Und das is lamata, and in the physical world. The interest of the Jewish people is not to go to heaven. There is such a thing. Not to get any rewards, but what? To improve the world, to plant in the world. Not any concerns that are up in the spiritual worlds. Kochos makifim, the surrounding powers, right? These Kabbalistic powers of love and awareness of God and consciousness. Oich nit lamata, also not even the lowest levels that are in the soul, intelligence, emotion. But the main thing of the Jewish people is, yes, true. I didn't want to put that. The main thing of the Jewish people is, yes, it's true, we have to have love of God, we have to have fear of God, we have to have mercy of God, we have to understand God, we have to learn the Torah, you have to learn Kabbalah, you have to learn Hasidus, you have to learn all these things. But the main thing of the Jewish people is planting. Where is planting? In the ground. Asiya, Bapal Mamash, doing deeds physically in the world. Called a man that felt the Asiya all the time that the Jews are not actually doing things physically, is venik the kavana, some mitzvahs in moach. It's not enough that you just have the intention of doing the commandments in your mind. Venik oich the nafil, the hearts, and also not enough that your heart is emotional about God, you have love of God, that you can sit and pray and think of the meaning of the words, close your eyes and pray for, right, hours. A person could say, listen, God, it says God wants my heart. That's the main thing, right? To have love of God. As this is genug, that a person could say it's enough just to have the warmer hearts, to have a warm heart and to be, emotional about God, to cry, write beautiful poetry. When on either a cup and you have a clear mind, you can learn Torah, you can write books. Und damit wird Yotzei sein. That's good enough. Zocht men, and we say, no, 9, it's not good. As muzain the asiya b'pal mamash, you have to actually do. There were, especially, I mean, there are now, I guess there's a little bit less. Nowadays, there used to be these people that were, Talmudic scholars, or they were into Kabbalah, and they wrote books about Kabbalah. One of them got the Nobel Prize literature for Kabbalah. They were professors, and one wrote stories about Hasidim, and they didn't do commandments. They didn't do commandments. And some of them had a lot of followers, and they were very popular, very successful, but they didn't do commandments. And some of them even preached the love of God, and even some even taught how to pray, right? How to put meaning into the words and everything, but they didn't do the commandments. So that the Rebbe, if so, the whole thing is missing. For instance, in the charity of giving charity, that's what's called planting seeds. Isha ki tazria. It has to be planting in the ground. In the commandment of giving charity, which charity in the Talmud, in the Jerusalem Talmud, is called the mitzvah. Charity is like the archetype of all the typical ultimate commandment is giving charity. Is nit genug, it's not enough when min rachmanas haben, that you have mercy on the poor person. Ervet far gisen teren, that you pour tears on the situation. Und der dollar vet bleiben bei ihm in catchen, but the money remains in your pocket. I mean, if you don't have any money, then it's a good thing, to listen to what he has to say and to comfort him. But if you have money, that's the main thing. Give him money. Men darf taka given the dollar zum armen. You have to actually give the money to the poor person physically, with all the intentions and Kabbalah and mysticism about that your hand is the letter Hey, and that the money is the letter Yud, and his hand is the A, and the Vav, stretching out your arm is, all these wonderful Kabbalistic ideas are great, but you have to actually give them the money. When a Zoivi, as is in tzedakah, the way it is in charity, a Zoe is all the mitzvahs, all the commandments. Zaydarfin Zaybapu, you have to actually do it. You want to bring the future redemption. It's only through actually doing Isha Tazriya. You have to actually plant seeds, do good deeds physically in the world, in action. In Gashmi Stavka, Tzitzis B'Tzemer, Gashmi Tefilim, Kalav Gashmi, etc. I mean, interesting that the only religion that has commandments is Judaism. Other religions have rituals, they have whatever it is, their customs, their practices, their heritage, whatever they have their signs, and then ceremonies, but commandments directly from God. The only religion that even claims such a thing is Judaism. Direct commandments, exact things you have to do for God. The main thing is to do. Und das means, this is what it means, Isha ki tazriya. That's what it means, a woman when she gives seed. B'shas state in their bechina from Isha, when the Jewish people are this level of woman, in other words, a part of God. Darfer muz there you can't suffice with the fact that you are part of God and be spiritual and have love and etc. and be what was it, receive enlightenment. Not enough. You have to do in the physical world. Can doch sein, it could be as mitzad hergish in your feeling, dem yoker from ish, to the feel the greatness of the man, in other words, of God. It was this hecher from all of these, which is higher from all sorts of anything in the world. As better stand in kalas and nefesh, you could be like expiring your soul. Like it says, Nadav and Avihu. Remember, we learned last week, Nadav and Avihu, the two sons of Aaron, that they went into the Holy of Holies, and they were tremendously holy. Like Rashi says that Moses even said that to Aaron, that Nadav and Avihu, that they ran into the Holy of Holies uninvited, unnecessarily, and they died. Their souls went out of their bodies. It says that they were greater than Moses and Aaron. They came close to God, but nevertheless, the Amutu, they died. They haven't got kalas and nefesh. Their souls went out of their bodies. Darfman poiling, you have to bring about as zolzain their tazriya. The main thing is has to be Isha. True, we are woman. We're taken from Ish. We're taken from God, infinitely high. But the main thing is Isha ki tazriya. We have to give seed in the physical world. Do good deeds. And when you do this, is vayelda zachar, then it gives birth to a male. What does it mean? Yelda vare, a certain, for sure, a child. She will give birth. In other words, the future redemption will come. and it will come to the future redemption, which will be in a masculine, a powerful, and an eternal, lasting way. So we can see what is the Rebbe trying to do over here. We have just a little bit more to go, but what is the Rebbe trying to do? He's trying to wake us up to who we really are and how incredibly important the Jewish people are, and how the job of the Jewish people is to bring, how do you say, total peace and blessing and meaning and revealing all good potential from every single individual in the world. To wake the whole world up, to give an awareness of the world to be aware of what the world really is, why God is creating this world, why God is creating us, me and you. And only the Jews can do it. The Jews, by doing the commandments, they have the commandments. By means of this turns on the whole entire process of revealing God in the world. That's the job of the world. Hard to believe. I mean, it's something that's totally, if you want to call it, not emphasized now. It's totally denied. It's not even denied. People don't even know there is such a thing. But says the Rebbe, this is in fact the main goal of reality. To feel how important and wonderful this physical world is when God is revealed here. Yud Zayin. Punkt Vias is and it all depends on the Jewish people actually doing good deeds. Just as it is in the future redemption, GEULA Tida, it's also now in our service. That by means of a person being in the way of Zachar, in other words, being powerful, is men mamshich the GEULA b'bechina. How are we going to bring this? But we have to be brave. We have to be courageous, assertive. The avoda is, like it says in the Gemara Zok, ish darka likavosh. The way of man, masculine way, is to conquer. Men darf einem develop. You have to conquer the world with everything that's in it. What do you mean conquer the world? To do what? To serve us? No. That everyone should know how important they are in the eyes of God. They're being created by God. Men darf es tan mit starkheit. You have to do it with assertiveness. Mit a tokif, from ish, like in a masculine way. Darko Voshwood says the man, his way is to conquer. Via state, like it says in Anai from Shulchan Aruch, Yizgaber Ka'ari, a person has to strengthen himself like a lion and not to be ashamed of those people who scoff at him or be afraid of what people think. And durach them, by means of that, then mamshich, you can bring the future redemption. This is also hinted what it says later on, ubiyom shmini, that if she gives birth to a male, that on the 8th day you circumcise the foreskin, his foreskin. The child is circumcised on the 8th day. Well, who is this child? We said the child is the future redemption. Durach der avoda, by means of Zohar, by means of being assertive and I say positive in what you do, as kumt man, you can get to the 8th day. What's the 8th day? The 8th day is it negates all of the bad things of the Yetzer Hara. It removes the orla, the foreskin. It removes what's called the selfish impulse, which the selfish impulse has got 7 names. It's called disgusting and evil and bad and mit welcher wird angerufen. And one of the names of the Yetzer Hara is called Orel, the foreskin. As member of Poilen, that we can bring by means of the 8th day, namely the future redemption, that it will be Mila. Mila means mul, to reveal Yudke, the first 2 letters of God's name. Menemt, we take. Up, we take away the helem, all the concealment, which conceals all over the name of God, this Yudke, the first 2 letters of God's name. Was does is Kalipas Amalek, namely what hides over the first 2 letters of God's name. We say Ein Hashem Shalem, that God's name is not complete until Amalek. Amalek is the pure egotism. It has to be totally wiped out, and there's also an amalek within each one of us also. That's what it means. Then God will remove the foreskin of our hearts. When we remove when we remove the foreskin of our hearts, then it'll bring about that God, then God, your God, will take away also the foreskin of your heart. That'll reveal. So what's the Rebbe saying? The bias Moshiach Sikena, the Moshiach will come. So what's the Rebbe saying? The first sentence in this week's Torah portion is Isha ki tazriya zachar. If a woman, when she gives seed, she will give birth to a male. And on the 8th day, you circumcise his flesh. The woman is the Jewish people. We're called woman because we were taken from God, called man, Ish. We're called Isha. The seed that we give, that's the good deeds, but they have to be done in the physical world, like seed has to be planted in the physical world. Then it gives, if we do the work, we start off, then we'll get the future redemption will be in a way of zachar. It'll be positive, powerful, unmoving. The same thing is how we bring it. We have to do these good deeds, and also in a way of zachar, powerful, assertive, without embarrassment, certainty that we know we're doing the right thing. Says the Rebbe, if you do that, then it'll come the 8th day that God will remove the foreskin. He'll remove all the things that hide godliness in the world. Addiction, aggression, lust, depression, all these terrible negative character traits that are so ubiquitous in the world, as God will remove the whole thing, and we'll see how precious that we are. God is creating us. With the coming of the Moshiach now, have a good Shabbos, everybody. Have a good month next month, and God willing, we'll see each other on Sunday at 8:15 in the morning.